I had a mother, if you watch the documentary, who didn't love us. Who do you tell?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and just the fear. We were violently sexual assaulted. They didn't matter groom us. We didn't buy us gifts and,
Right.
because we were beaten, choked, chased down, drugged, you know, um, tied up to chairs. You know, it was brutal. It
Mm.
was brutal. And the only thing that saved me, the only thing that kept me alive mentally was I wanted to be Wonder Woman.
Mm.
It was 1975. Well, no, we didn't have black models.
Right.
TV was black and white, right? With the knob on it.
Right.
And I wanted to be Wonder Woman. I would get up every morning on Saturdays, and Saturdays to me was going outside at 5 o'clock in the morning, getting good cold. We had to wash our clothes in rubos. We didn't have wash machines, you
Mm.
know. And so all I want to do is see Wonder Woman turn around. I just wanted to see her take her glasses off, and turn around and spin. And I used to get my grandmother's white sheet and I
Mm.
put WW on. I would go outside and spin around and around because she was a thing of beauty to me.
Mm.
And I had to be Wonder Woman when my grandmother got ready for church because that's when my uncles would tell us, we're going
Mm-hmm.
to get you when mama get ready for church, when mama leaves. So I have to put my sheet on to be Wonder Woman.
Mm.
So my sister and my boy cousin, it just broke them. My sister died last year tragically in an accident. But she was a victim when she died. She
Mm-hmm.
never could get over the abuse. She never could get over my mama not loving us. And she was shot and
I was
shot.
gonna
You
when
know,
I
so
when I was watching your documentary, and I was just like, oh my God, like I got to get your sister on the show. Because I'm like, I know so many women, including myself before I started my healing process, could relate to the feelings and the pain and the anger she was feeling. So when I went to your Instagram page, I was like, oh my God, like she passed away. So do you feel like she ever got the peace? Yeah, right?
it makes me cry because my sister was my hero.
Mm-hmm.
And if you read my book, I go into more details of how my sister saved me. So many times my uncle would come get me. She'll say, take me. But I couldn't save her. I couldn't save her for the 30 years she struggled on crack.
Right.
Being 80 pounds, shot, stabbed, sleeping outdoors. I couldn't save her.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted my mama to love her. She wanted all her life. She was, the problem child. Nobody breathed. Nobody heard her. And so what I'm doing in Atlanta is I'm opening up a cafe style center called Sonya.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Sonya. And I'm naming it Sonya. And it's sisters overcoming years of abuse.
Mm.
Sonya.
Mm-hmm.
Sisters overcoming needless years of abuse. Sonya. And I'm dedicating it to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I want this to be a place where the Sonyas and am I right, can all come.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's 1 out of 3 women that's been sexually abused before the age of 18.
Mm-hmm.
1 out of 3. And let me tell you, I do this all over the world. And when you got 7,000 people standing up giving you a standing ovation, and I leave them sometimes, and I say, I want 1 out of 3 of us stand up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could see, it's like dominoes. It's amazing. One person standing up, 2 people sitting down, amazing. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
And so many people still can't say to me, they'll come and tell me that's my story, but they're not ready.
Mm-hmm.
They're not ready to talk about it. And so I want to be the inspiration. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to look at me and see this is how thriving look, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is life after abuse. Did you see her? Is
Right.
this what loving yourself looks like? Yes.
And telling your story.
Yes. This is what giving you permission
Mm-hmm.
to tell your story. That's why you are not doing this. We want to give you permission to know that you can thrive after
Mm-hmm.
trauma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think that your grandmother ever knew what was going on?
She did. We told my grandma one day we was outside playing
Mm,
and we was fighting about something. We like, oh, we better give it to Mama tell we've been doing it. Because we called it doing it when we were little. That's what
right.
we did. And my grandmother called us in and said, what are y'all talking about? And we said, hey, I've been doing it to us,
Mm,
and because, and I remember my grandmother making us strip down naked and we got beat naked with switches.
mm,
Yeah.
mm. So
So
when did the abuse finally stop?
the abuse kind of went on throughout, my uncles, my mom moved us at the house around maybe first grade or something like that.
Mhm.
But I remember around preschool, let me start around 4 or 5 years old, kindergarten, my mother would, we finally moved at the house, but we would still go there in the evenings, like for aftercare.
Right.
So
After
my
school
so
and
my
stuff.
uncles were still there for that. I remember one of my uncles going to prison for rape.
Mm,
What else? And we moved, and my uncle got out, and of course came to our house. My mom was drinking and in the room, drunk, whatever she was, and me and my sister in the bed, and we watching him take the doorknob off the door to come in to get one of us, and it was
right.
me. God, I remember my sister telling him, give me back my sister." It kind of died off, but my mother would have different men. You
Mhm.
know, she dated. I think the last time I was 16 years old,
Mhm.
my mom had a boyfriend, a man.
Mm.
At that time, I started having my door locked, closed because I was 16. I always been shapely. I always been shapely, little waist, big. It's always had a body,
Right.
and I was always made to feel something wrong with me because of my body. I was in a bed sleep. This man came in my room. I could feel a hot breath. He was on his
Because he'd been
knees,
drinking. You could feel it.
breathing over me.
Right.
And I could feel his hands touching over my breast and, just touching over my body. And I woke up screaming.
Mm.
This man looking at hoovering over me. And I remember screaming, Mama, screaming. And I remember this man just being erected. You know what I mean?
Right.
And my mama came in the room and caught this man.
Mm.
And she hit me so hard till I fell on the floor. And she put me out
Mm.
with no clothes, no shoes, and nothing. I told me, bitch, this is my man.
Right. I feel like my mom was very abusive towards me. And I think what hurt the most is not what she did, but what she said to me. And I feel like when I was watching the documentary and y'all was having y'all conversation, or she was telling her side and your side, and I feel like it was the same thing for you. Like it was some of the things that she said, and it was just like, damn, do you feel like it was some of the things that she said to you that was more hurtful?
Yeah, the emotional abuse definitely. Even at 53, I will never forget it.
Right.
I just remember things like I wish I never had you.
Right.
Bitch, I should have killed you.
Right.
I should have flushed you down the commode. My mother was, I think, besides the sexual abuse, my mom was my big emotional abuse. She beat us with stitching cords, and my mother never loved me, never told me she loved me, never hugged me.
Same.
It was horrific. And I look back and wonder how could you do that to somebody you birthed,
Mhm.
and having two sons of my own. I
Mhm.
definitely had to break, those cycles. Like I had to do something, I had to change something. My mother on that documentary, I wasn't there. The producers went to Birmingham by themselves and got her to say that. I was shocked.
Mm.
I think she said she was sorry last year, believe
Mm.
it or not. But at first she went on it. Like, she said, I didn't know these things would happen. My sister said, yes, you did.
Oh, your sister was not playing with her.
Sister didn't play the piano with her. My sister was ready to fight every time. She
Right.
could, my sister was angry and hurt and broken. And I think they did the documentary so amazing because they showed two sisters, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
who went down the same path and showed how abuse adversely affect you and impact you and you see what happened to us. But my mom finally said she was sorry.
Mhm.
I can't say it made a difference. I wouldn't say it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm grateful for was being able to heal without that, if that makes sense. Because sometimes you're not gonna
Right.
get it.
Right.
You may not
Facts.
never get it. Am I right?
No, you're right, because I never got it.
And you may not never get it. And so I think I noticed, I know you may understand where I'm going with this. I think I got to a point in my life where I wanted to pray for her. I
Mm-hmm.
literally did because I felt like this was a woman who, whatever her daddy did to her,
Mm-hmm.
she
Mm-hmm.
said she would rather die and go to her grave with it. That's how much pain she carried.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how can you love two little girls when you can't even love yourself?
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of things about my mom, I look back at now and thought, this woman she wasn't able to love her. She wasn't able to say she's sorry.
Right.
Because when you say you're sorry, you got to own it.
That's you admitting to it.
And to sit, I mean, she couldn't even listen to me and my sister telling her this story. And listen, we didn't cut out no middle. We told everything vividly. And I do that when I'm on stage. You know why? Because I don't want to dress up abuse.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing pretty about it. Am I right? It's not pretty about
At all.
it. And so I don't want to dress nothing up. This will happen. This is my story. And she still can't hear it. And she'll still deny some of it. It's amazing. But
No, I'm laughing because I know exactly what you're talking about, because the person between us is my little sister, and it's amazing how people forget. And I'm like, was I in this by myself? Like, how do y'all not remember this?
you know why? Because you have to put it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put it somewhere so that you can wake up every day,
Yeah.
you know? And sometimes you tuck it away so far back because it's that painful.
Mm-hmm.
It really, really is. And that's why it's so important for us to tell our stories so that we can help, our sisters. We can help them become aware this happened to me. And even if it's done secretly, at least it's a start. Am I right? It's a
Mm-hmm.
start.
Mm-hmm.
And so doing this podcast, it's going to be another way because people reach out to me all over the world. You wouldn't believe the letters. I think it was 7 boys from Japan.
Mm.
Can you believe it? Japan
Mm.
wrote me letters. They watched the documentary. The teacher showed it to them. I flew to Japan
Come on now.
to meet these little boys
Mm.
because we can't talk about it, sister. We got to be about it.
Right.
This is a movement, and we got to be about it. Those little boys wanted to see me. They wanted to read my book. They wanted to meet me, and I
Mm-hmm.
flew there.
Mm.
$1,700, my own money,
Mm.
to Japan. And so I get letters from little girls who said, if we can meet you, and you're my Wonder Woman.